Today, we're looking at what's available right now as of September 2025 in New South Wales, including stamp duty concessions, the $10,000 first homeowners grant, and how the first home guarantee scheme applies if you're buying in New South Wales, including the changes coming from October 2025. I'll walk you through who's eligible, how the rules work, and some important strategy insights to help you weigh up your options and make confident decisions. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to First Home Unlocked, the podcast for unlocking clarity and confidence for first home buyers. I'm Jack Elliott, National First Home Buyer Specialist at Alcove.
And I'm Chris Bates, ex-financial planner and mortgage broker.
Together, we are on a mission to empower you with the keys to unlock your first home. Let's jump in. Hello, and welcome back to First Home Unlocked. And today, it's just me, while Chris is away, but we're keeping the momentum going as we continue our deep dive into the grants and schemes that can help first home buyers get into the market sooner or reduce their upfront costs. And today, we're looking at what's available right now as of September 2025 in New South Wales, including stamp duty concessions, the $10,000 first homeowners grant, and how the first home guarantee scheme applies if you're buying in New South Wales, including the changes coming from October 2025. I'll walk you through who's eligible, how the rules work, and some important strategy insights to help you weigh up your options and make confident decisions. Let's get into it. Let's start with the stamp duty support available for first home buyers in New South Wales. Before we get into it, I just want to touch on what stamp duty actually is. So stamp duty, which is also called transfer duty, is a one-off government tax you pay when you buy a property in Australia. It's calculated as a percentage of the purchase price. So the more expensive the home, the more the stamp duty you'll generally pay. Depending on your purchase price, stamp duty could be one of the biggest upfront costs, often adding tens of thousands of dollars to your total budget. And that's why the state government offers concessions and exemptions to reduce or remove it for eligible first home buyers. So let's break down what's available for first home buyers in New South Wales. So the First Home Buyer Assistance Scheme provides stamp duty concessions in New South Wales for first home buyers, saving up to $30,000 depending on your purchase price and whether you're buying an existing home, new build, or vacant land. So here's how it works. For existing homes and new builds, you get a full exemption with a purchase price up to $800,000. You get concessional rates when you purchase between $800,000 and $1 million. For vacant land that you'll use to build your first home, you get a full exemption with a purchase price up to $350,000, and you'll get concessional rates if you purchase between $350,000 and $450,000. Now, to be eligible, you must be 18 years and older and an individual, not in a company or trust. You and your spouse or partner must have never owned a residential property in Australia. At least one of the applicants must be an Australian citizen or permanent resident. For existing homes, you must move in within 12 months and live there for at least 12 continuous months, or you may need to repay the stamp duty that you saved. Now, the residency requirement may not apply for members of the Defence Force. Now, there are no income caps, and it applies whether the property is brand new or established. So it's important not to base your buying decision solely on the stamp duty savings. If a property between $800,000 and $1 million generally suits your lifestyle, budget, and comfort levels, that's great. But if you're compromising just to avoid paying the stamp duty, it's worth asking, is there a better quality home that's slightly above the exemption caps, one that could grow more in value over time, or better align with your lifestyle or long-term goals? The good news is, in New South Wales, stamp duty phases in gradually between $800,000 and $1 million. So you're not going from zero to the full cost. And in many cases, paying a bit more upfront could unlock a higher quality home with a stronger growth potential. So let's break down some examples. If you purchase for $800,000, you pay no stamp duty as a first home buyer, compared to around $30,000 for non-first home buyers. If you purchase for $850,000, you might pay around $10,000 in stamp duty compared to $33,000 for non-first home buyers. At $950,000, you pay around $30,000 in stamp duty, where a non-first home buyer would pay $37,000. And at $1 million plus, the concession cuts out and the full rates apply, which would be around $39,000 for $1 million purchase. And if you were to purchase for 1.5 million, you would pay the full stamp duty at 65,000. So depending on your borrowing power, your goals, your budget, that extra stamp duty might be worth it if it gets you into a higher quality property with a stronger long-term value. And if you haven't already listened, I recommend jumping back into episode 6, Unlocking Asset Quality, where we break down what to look for in a first home, from suburb supply and demand to layout to land value and that long-term appeal. So ultimately, strategy matters. The upfront savings are valuable with the stamp duty concessions and exemptions, but the right property in the right location is what builds the long-term equity and value. Now, let's move on to the next major incentive available for first home buyers in New South Wales, the First Home Owners Grant. Now, if you're buying or building a brand new home, this grant is provided to you by the government towards your purchase. So it's a $10,000 tax-free grant to support eligible first home buyers who are purchasing a brand new or substantially renovated property, including house and land packages, off-the-plan apartments or townhouses, brand new homes, units, apartments that have never been lived in, or substantially renovated homes where most of the original structure was replaced and it hasn't been lived in before, and this is the first sale post the renovation. So it is not available for established homes. Now, to qualify for the $10,000 first homeowners grant in New South Wales, the property must be valued under $600,000 or up to $750,000 if you've purchased vacant land and signed a comprehensive build contract, and this includes the building variations as well. You must be 18 years or older and an Australian citizen or permanent resident. It must be the first property you or your spouse have owned in Australia. You'll need to move in within 12 months of construction or purchasing and live in the home for at least 12 continuous months. Now, the grant is a one per property, not per person. So if you're buying with a partner, you still only receive one $10,000 grant. Now, some extra information to consider. You can receive the first homeowners grant in addition to the New South Wales stamp duty concessions if you meet the criteria for both. And the grant can also be combined with the first home guarantee scheme, which I'll talk about shortly. Now, to break this down, this grant can be really helpful, but it's important not to let it dictate your buying decision. If you're only looking at new builds or off-the-plan apartments just to access the grant, it's worth pausing and considering. Is the property in a location that suits your lifestyle and offers strong long-term growth potential? Is it a high-quality asset? Or is there many similar properties in the same area? And would an established home, even without the grant, offer better value and livability in the long run? Remember, the upfront savings can be appealing, but the right property can build significantly more wealth over time. So if you're unsure whether to choose a newer established or what to actually look for in a property, again, you can check out episode 6 of the podcast, where we break down how to assess asset quality so you can weigh up lifestyle, value, and long-term growth, and not just the incentives. Now, another incentive available for first home buyers in New South Wales is the First Home Guarantee Scheme, which is an Australian government scheme under Housing Australia that allows eligible first home buyers to purchase a home with as little as a 5% deposit without paying lenders' mortgage insurance. You maintain full ownership of your property, and the government is basically telling the bank to treat you as if you had a 20% deposit, which is why the banks won't charge you lenders' mortgage insurance, and you still maintain access to them competitive rates. Now, we break this down in full in our episode 10 of the podcast, including the eligibility, how it works, what guarantee actually means, the pros and cons, and how to remove the guarantee in the future. So I recommend jumping in, giving that one a listen, but this is a great option for many first home buyers. So to use the First Home Guarantee Scheme, the property must fall within certain price caps based on the location. For New South Wales, these are for the capital city and regional centres. You can purchase up to $900,000 currently, but from October 1st, 2025, that will increase to $1.5 million. So that's for Sydney, Illawarra, Newcastle, and Lake Macquarie. Now, for the rest of the state, you can purchase currently up to $750,000, and that will increase to $800,000 from October 1st, 2025. Now, there also is currently an income cap of $125,000 for singles and $200,000 for couples, but this will be removed come October 1st, 2025, allowing more access for first home buyers. Now, this is a great scheme for first home buyers to use, especially with more properties becoming accessible with the higher price caps. So that's a snapshot of what's available right now for first home buyers in New South Wales. We have the stamp duty exemptions and concessions, a $10,000 first homeowners grant for new or substantially renovated homes, and the First Home Guarantee Scheme with the rising price caps and removed income limits from October. But as always, it's not just about what's available. It's about what's right for you. Your lifestyle goals, preferred location, long-term vision, and choosing a high-quality property all play a role. Incentives can be a great support, but the best results come from when they are used as part of the bigger strategy, not the whole plan. You'll find all the relevant links and resources in the show notes to the New South Wales government sites that we've spoken about today. And if you're ready to map out a clear strategy that fits your life and goals, you can book a get to know you chat at firsthomeunlocked.com.au/book or use the link in the show notes. And don't forget to follow the podcast. We've still got more states breakdowns coming, plus future episodes covering everything first home buyers want to know. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. We'd really appreciate if you could do us a huge favour. Share this episode with any first home buyers that you know so we can help more people like you feel clear, calm and confident when purchasing their first property. You can join our Facebook group, First Home Unlocked, to continue the conversation with other first home buyers. Or if you're ready to unlock your first home, you can book a get to know you chat by using the link in the show notes or by going to firsthomeunlocked.com.au. Before we go, just a reminder that everything we share on this podcast is general in nature and not tailored to your personal situation. We always recommend seeking advice from a qualified and experienced professional when making financial decisions.